In today's video, we'll be covering the FICA documents. Why are FICA documents required? So we're going to be looking at the breakdown of the common FICA documents in South Africa, and we're also going to be looking at why the FICA documents are required. So the FICA documents are the common records required by South African law to verify clients' identity and addresses, primarily for financial institutions to comply with the Financial Intelligence Sector Act. This is done to combat money laundering and other financial crimes. In most cases, when you're applying for a loan or you're applying for your new bank account, you realize the banks will ask you, where are your FICA documents? So they will be looking mainly for your address as well as your ID. That is in most cases. However, in other cases where you're buying a house and you're applying for a home loan, then the lawyers or the transferring attorneys will ask for your SARS documents. So those are main FICA documents that are required in South Africa, and you will mainly be asked when you are transacting with the banks or you are transacting with the deeds office for the purpose of transferring the house to your name as well as the bank. So here are the breakdown of the common FICA documents. So the common FICA documents that we have in South Africa is normally your identity document, your proof of residential address, and your proof of income. So those are the main documents that will mainly ask you if you're applying for debt at the bank or if you are transferring the house to your name on deeds office, or if you want to open a new bank account. Then now let us look at this document. What can be used for each required document for FICA purpose? It's your identity document. For South African citizen, this is usually your certified copy of your ID or smart card. However, the foreign nationals, because they do not have the SA ID, they will typically need to provide passport. So it is a passport for foreign nationals. However, for the South African, it is your ID. And then the second one is your proof of residential address. So what you can use to prove that you stay in a certain address that you have documented in your application. You need your utility bill. It can be your water or electricity bill, your bank statement, your recent lease agreement, or even your municipality rate and invoices. So utility bill, they will normally show you where you stay. Your bank statement, it also has your physical address. Your lease agreement, if you sign a lease or if you've signed a lease in the past, you know that you're going to have in your lease agreement, there will be the address record or the physical address of where the property is located, where you're going to be staying. If you have a house and you get municipality rate, the rate statements that will show where is the address of what they are billing. And it can be any other tax invoice. That could be your Wi-Fi invoice or any invoice that normally would reflect your residential address. Then the other one is your proof of income. So in most cases, your proof of income will be required. If you're applying for a house, you're applying for a car, they'll say, please provide us the SARS documents confirming your income tax number, your bank statement showing your income, as well as your documentation related to the third-party source of income. So this is normally FICA document that is required if you want to be advanced with a loan or you want to be borrowed a certain amount by the bank. So the banks will say, in order for us to be able to comply with the Financial Intelligence Act, we need to get this document before we can conclude the transaction. Then now that we know what are the FICA documents, why are the FICA documents required? Why do they even want to get the FICA document from you in order to either advance you the loan in the case of the advancement of loan, and in the case of maybe the deeds office? Why do they need those documents? So first part is for combating financial crime. FICA aims to prevent financial crimes like money laundering and tax evasion. So if they have your FICA documents, they can link you to any kind of crime. It could be money laundering, or tax evasion. But if they do not have your details like your ID number, your proof of address, and all sort of any document that is basically linked to you, they are not able to link you to the crime. So in order for them to be able to link this particular person to the crime, they needed the identifier or the certain details, which in most cases it's gonna be your ID number, an ID document to support your ID number. It's only when they can be link you to that money laundering or any tax evasion of that matter. It's for the verification of identity. Financial institutions need to be able to verify identity of bank clients before establishing a business relationship or completing the transaction. So, in order for the banks to have any relationship with you, it doesn't matter whether it's your bank account or it's your loan advance, they need to have a verification of your identity. By you telling them when you were born and where you stay, it's not sufficient for them. They need to verify the information that you are providing them that is correct and true, and it can be justifiable by the supporting documents. And the last part is the compliance. FICA requires accountable institutions to comply with specific regulations, including collecting and verifying clients' information. So the banks, they need to comply with Financial Intelligence Act and other acts that they need to comply with. So in order to comply with them, for every transaction and relationship they create with the third party or the client, they need to have the FICA documents. If they don't have, that means they did not comply with the requirements of Financial Intelligence Act. In that case, they can pay for penalty for non-compliance. Thank you for listening to this part. Can you please subscribe to my YouTube channel? It's Economics 199, or follow my YouTube channel. It's also Economics 199. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.